Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we've been learning about machine learning and artificial intelligence. And in today's video, we are going to learn what autoregressive models are. By the end of this video, we will know what an autoregressive model is, how it is formed, and how or where it is used. So let's dive in. Before we look at what an autoregressive model is, it is important that we understand what a model in machine learning is. And in machine learning, a model is basically a computer program that is trained to recognize patterns in a given data set. So we will have different kind of data set. We can have a data set can be something like images of dogs, images of cats. It can be a list of names, it can be a list of items, it can be a table where in one column we have the year, the other column we have the profit in each year. So that's different data set. So what a model basically does is that it looks based on the algorithms, based on these machine learning algorithms, it studies those particular data set. It looks at in each data entry, it looks at each parameter, and then it's able to recognize the pattern, and within that pattern now it is able to it can be used to perform different options, such as predicting the results if it is given a new kind of data. For example, if I give a model an image of a dog as a new data, and I used several images of dogs or cats or items, it will be able to tell me that this is a dog or this is a cat and what have you. So if you look at here, this is where our model is situated, and this is in the training data, the algorithm. So this training data and the algorithm are what forms the model. And then once the model has been trained and the algorithm has been developed, if I give it a new data, it's able to give me some kind of prediction. So an autoregressive model is a model that predicts the future based on the past behavior. And autoregressive comes from two words: auto, which is a Greek word, and it means self, and regressive. Regressive means that it is able to predict, it is able to give us some form of dependence, a relationship between independent and dependent variables. So an autoregressive model in this case will be able to predict future behavior based on a past behavior. And in this case, the past behavior will be, we will be able to know the past behavior in form of the past data. So if you look at this diagram, it is similar to the previous diagram that I shown here. This is where the model is. And in this case, our autoregressive model is here. And we have our past data and the algorithm that we combine, that we train the algorithm using this past data to form this autoregressive model. And then we can be able to give a new data, which can be an example of in terms of a question, for example, and it can give us the future behavior of that particular circumstance that we are investigating. What I'd like you to note, though, the difference between autoregressive model and this other model is that autoregressive model, basically the past data has to be time series data. It works with the time series data, and I'll briefly explain what a time series data is. So you have to note that autoregressive model works with time series data, and algorithms can be designed depending on the condition. So what are time series data? So a time series data is a sequence of data points indexed in time order. So if you look at an example of this is a time series data, and this is a data of a data set of a given business, whereby we have the month and the number of customers. So in this month of January, we had 100 customers. February, we had this number of customers. In March, this number of customers. So the most important thing here is that we are having the months. This month here is a time variable. It can be years, it can be decades, it can be hours, it can be days, it can be seconds. But the important part here is that we are able to have this time variable. It forms a time series data. So it is this particular time series data that we'll be able to use it as a past data to train our autoregressive model. And there's also what we need to understand. The time series data that we use to train autoregressive model should have some kind of stationarity. And stationarity means that the statistical properties of a cluster of the data set, such as the mean, the median, should not change. So basically, if you look, for example, this is the data of 2021 and this is data of 2022. And what stationarity means that if you take this number of customers, this data here, and you take this data here, if you calculate, for example, statistical properties such as mean, median, they should not vary much. They should be in a particular range for them to meet this stationarity criterion of time series data, and that will allow it to be used for training an autoregressive model. So let's look for an example of an autoregressive model. So this is an past data. So in this case, we will be feeding this past data. It will be 2021 and 2022. So these two data, we will feed it. They will be here, and then we will have an algorithm. So the algorithm will be a set of programs, a computer programs, just statements of a computer program. And then once we train it, so once we've written the algorithm, we will train it. Once we've trained it, we will export it as our autoregressive model. Then we will now be able to give in new data, and it will be able to predict for us the future. For example, the new data can be in the year section. For example, here we have 2021 and 2022, for example. So we don't have data for 2023, July. So if we can ask, our new data here will be 7 and 2023. If you look at this part data, we have 7 2021, we have 7 2022, but we don't have 7 2023. So in 7 2021 we can see is 109. In 7 2022 we can see is 139. So we want this model to tell us that 7 2023 will be how many. So if you come here, we just tell the model that we are looking for the number of customers for July 2023, and then the model will be able to tell us that the number of customers in July 2023 will be 134. It is a predicted value. So basically that is what an autoregressive model is, and it is used to predict the future behavior of set of different instances. For example, here we are looking at the number of customers of a given business. It can also be used to indicate a lack of uniformity in data. Like I mentioned here, if the data that is used here, they should have some kind of corresponding statistical properties. And also it can be used in instances such as stock market analysis and several other instances where we are looking towards predicting the future behavior with the past data that meets these two criterion, time series data, and it should have some form of stationarity. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you understand what an autoregressive model is. Kindly subscribe and like for the next video. Thank you and see you.